Hi, this is Andy Tillman, and I'm visiting with our classmate Lee Radtke, who is hosting us at Gilgamesh Brewery, which he and his three sons founded. And we are meeting with Lee at Gilgamesh on September 18th, starting at 4 o'clock and going until 8 o'clock. And Lee is going to show us around the campus where we'll be meeting. Lee, I'm going to change our view here so that we see you and the campus better. Okay, Lee, you're live.
All righty. I am just moving away from our sign because it's out by the street and there's way too much traffic noise to hear Andy or hardly myself. So I'm walking back to our restaurant now. Maybe I'll turn sideways so that you can kind of see the entrance here. Yeah, that's kind of the road in. I'll trip and fall if I try to walk and hold it sideways. So we'll be in here for a minute. So Andy, is there any questions, anything that you got for me while I'm going back in?
Yeah, I'd just like to remind people that you've had a long and varied career and that you didn't take a straight course to being a restaurateur and brewery owner operator. You started out in law enforcement, didn't you?
Well, in college, I took wildlife management and law enforcement as a minor, thinking I would be a game officer, but none of that really worked out. I decided I didn't want to be a law enforcement. Then I was offered, after that, I was offered a job with my high school and junior high employer, more of that concrete, and to run a concrete pump truck. So I moved back to Salem. He trained me on how to run articulating boom pump trucks, and he sent me to Boise to open up a business over there, which I did for about a year. That's where I met my wife in Boise. And then that's not a career that a person really wants to do forever. It's a really tough business. And I end up starting to build furniture. And I'm not sure how much of this you want me to carry on with, but I've been a furniture maker for the last pretty much 40 years. And about 5 years of that in late 1990s, early 2000s, I taught furniture making in the Department of Corrections as a Chemeketa faculty, which I always get a chuckle out of me being a college faculty. But did that and then back to furniture making. And then my boys and I developed the beer business, home brewing, and we kind of call ourselves home brewers that got out of control. And so we decided, let's start a business, because of my furniture business, I was familiar with opening and operating a business. So that's just developed from a small brewery in our garage to our shop, actually, and into our full-scale brewery and accompanied by a restaurant. And then we developed that in about.
Whoops, Lee, I just lost your audio.
That's pretty much what we're doing, utilizing woodworking and my previous metalworking skills and so on in our business. And my three sons and I are all joint partners, and they all have skills that they've learned. I've taught some of it, that we all work together to pretty much build everything ourselves and run it.
I know you've been busy in your wood shop crafting your other two locations. For those of you who don't know, Lee and his three sons actually have 3 locations for their brewery. You've got the one Gilgamesh, which is on Madrone Avenue. And you're seeing that in the background right now, where Lee is. That's the entryway to Gilgamesh that we'll be visiting here in September. And then you've also got one in West Salem, the woods, and you've got the river in Independence. And you've used your woodworking and metal skills in all those, haven't you?
Yes, that's exactly right. We do pretty much everything ourselves. That's how we can afford to build what we have built. Like the one in West Salem, we call it the Woods, and the outside looks like a strip mall, which we want to modify that a bit, but the inside is all timber frame, and all of the timbers on that were from trees we cut down on our own property and brought in a mill and milled them right there, and then hauled them over and started doing all the timber framing inside. And the bar top has got a 45-foot long bar top that's curved. That's all out of one tree. That came out really pretty cool. So we're pretty happy with that one. And the one in Independence, we leased that from a friend of ours that opened it to be his own, started it to be his own pub, and then decided he didn't know how to run a pub or a restaurant or a brewery. So he offered it to us, and we're really happy with that one too. But the campus, this is our original restaurant and brewery here. I'll turn around and from the front entry, you'll be able to see our grain silo and the entry to the brewery. There's the silo, and so all of the piping and assembly, everything we do ourselves. So it's interesting, a lot of work. But I've always said I like to build things. I don't care if I'm building a sandwich or a brewery or a rocking chair. It's all enjoyable building stuff.
Yeah, well, if you can do a rocking chair, you can do about anything. I know those are tough. I have a friend that tried to make one. Lee, why don't you, can you show us inside?
You bet.
Actually, though, this is going to be an outside venue, and I want people to know it's going to be as COVID safe as you possibly could have for a reunion of 100-some people, because it is going to be outside, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Why don't I'll just walk in through the restaurant, and as best I can with me being somewhat in the picture, I'll show the inside of the restaurant as I walk through out into the outside seating area, or out our whole big lawn out there.
Great, let's do that.
Okay. I'll just, and the less you have to look at me, the better. So.
No, that's working.
Yep. Here's our front entry. It's hard for me to see what I'm showing.
No, that's good. You've got a good exposure there.
And we have TVs for the sports. And I'll come over by our fireplace, and you'll be able to see there's a couch, a chair, and so on in front of the fireplace that I built. This isn't going to be professional quality for sure, is it?
No, it's a beautiful fireplace.
Yeah, yeah. Now the furniture didn't really show up real well, so I'll step out onto our patio. We've got a outdoor patio here that goes the length of our, oh, come on, here's Kim. We're going to get Kim in the picture. Our outside patio is really popular, probably as much so for more than the inside. Covered, we can close it in the winter time so that we have seating here year round. And just going out onto the lawn now. And right over along there, you can see it. You probably can't see it too well. It's Pringle Creek and our lawn. Andy, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear just fine. I remember
Okay.
Pringle Creek from back in the day.
Yeah. And then we're coming out, we have what we call the earth stage. Let's see if I can,
Yeah, we see the steps. That's working.
yeah, there's the steps. Okay, I can't tell just
No, that's,
exactly what, but we have bands and stuff up there at times, and weddings and whatever comes our way. And then down below is the creek, maybe you can see.
yeah,
Yeah, when we decided we needed to expand, or actually the county decided we needed to move from my place, they made it pretty miserable to have our brewery at my house anymore. So about that time, we got a call from the city of Salem, inviting us to bring our business into Salem, which we couldn't believe it. The timing was just amazing. And so we started looking around, and they said they'd try to help us, if they could, and they did. And we looked at this place and just fell in love. It was way more than we were going to bite off. But when we looked at the grounds and the buildings and the ability to have a full restaurant and the creek and everything, it was just like, oh my God, yeah, how are we going to pull this one off? But we got to do it. So that's pretty much what we've done.
well, you started off, Lee, with at least one prize-winning beer, didn't you? Win an important award 3 years in a row when you were still kind of home brewers. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that would be our Mamba. It's a almost non-hop beer. I mean, there's like 3 little hop cones in the whole batch, and it's extremely unique. There's not another beer like it, and it was just an immediate, huge success. And so that's when we decided, hey, we got to do something here. We did a test market at the fairgrounds at an event there, and it was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We got to move with this. And I think it's still our biggest selling beer.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very important in our development for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the right way to start off at the top. So are you going to have a tent for our event, or is it too early to say?
It's a little early to say, but I suspect we will. I just brought one tent in from my place this morning. It's a 10 by 15, and we've got a couple of those, at least 2 or 3 of those. We have 2 big 20 by 20s that we've typically had here, but with our restaurant in West Salem, the Woods, we're using them out on the patio, so we have some coverage out there.
Mhm.
So we'll play by ear, weather-wise, and that type of thing. What we do for tents.
Okay, well, I just want people to know that to register now, currently it's $55 to join the party at Gilgamesh. And that also gets you entrance into the Sunday event that we have at the Willamette Valley Vineyard in Turner with Jan Barnes Berneau, who is our other host for the weekend. So this is a great brewery and vintners weekend for all of our classmates. So please register by September 1st if possible. You get a discount, and it helps us plan for how many people we'll be serving on September 18th. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the campus while you're outside?
Oh, it's a great place to be. We love it.
Yeah.
It's told you, a lot about it. I will say something about the Sunday event at Willamette Valley. I'm really looking forward to that. Jan's a great gal. It's been good to see her and her husband, Jim. So we interact with Willamette Valley Vineyard on, definite occasions. Had a real good relationship with them, and that should be a lot of fun up there too.
Yeah, it's very generous of you both to open up your venues to us, and it's certainly a fitting weekend for a 50th, 51st anniversary. So I'm almost glad we delayed it a year, if it meant getting you on board and Jan on board.
Well, one thing I will say, in regards to having the reunion here is I am really honored, pleased that our class has chosen our place as one of the event locations. It's pretty special to me, to be real honest.
Well, it is to us too. I think we're all looking forward to it. And we've got a good event committee, helping you out, I'm sure. And we're going to publish this shortly and let people know what you're about. So our time is about up. If you're able to, can you show us back toward the outdoor dining area again, Lee, without falling down?
Well, right. I mean, that's not falling down is a good feat on any given day. I'm moving back in closer to the patio. It's hard for me to see.
No, you're getting there just fine.
Okay, and I'll kind of make a sweep down the side of the patio here.
Yeah, I see you've got a heater there for the patio area.
Yeah, we have two big 180,000 BTU heaters that we heat the place in the winter time.
Yep, and you've got lights, and we're going to be starting at 4 o'clock. At 5:15, we're going to have a class photo, and we're going to party on until 8 o'clock.
At least.
Yep.
I'm not real good at quitting partying, but
yeah, you're in the starting business, not the stopping business. That's good right there, Lee. If you can kind of face toward your crowd there. There you go. That's
these ladies are just looking forward to waving to you. We have the best customers. It's been a lot of fun with our customers and our staff. We have great staff too. You'll love them.
Yeah, I can tell you do. So I want to remind people to go to southsalem70.com. That's southsalem70.com to register for dinner at Gilgamesh Brewing Company. And that's going to be September 18th at 4 o'clock on Madrona Avenue, which is familiar to a lot of us. So Lee, thank you for your hospitality very much and showing us around.
Thanks a lot, Andy. Really appreciate it.
All right, we will go back to that view and we'll see you on September 18th.
Perfect. Thanks.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.